Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the class. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important aspects of sustainable supply chains, that is reverse logistics and recycling. Traditionally, supply chains have followed a linear model: take, make and dispose, where products and materials are used once, then they discarded as waste. However, this model has led to significant resource depletion, waste generation, and environmental damage. As the world shifts toward a more circular economy, reverse logistics play a key role in closing the loop in supply chains. This involves recovering products and materials from the end of life and finding ways to either reuse, recycle, or remanufacture them for new use. In today's lecture, we will explore the background and context of reverse logistics and how it fits into the circular economy. The role of reverse logistics in the waste hierarchy and product recovery options. So, by the end of this lecture, you should have a clear understanding of how reverse logistics works and how it helps businesses reduce waste, preserve resources, and capture value from discarded products. Let's begin by understanding the background and context. The linear model. For many years, traditional supply chains followed a linear model known as take, make, dispose. In this model, manufacturers extract resources, produce goods, sell them to consumers, and then once product reach their end of life, they are disposed of, either in landfills, through incineration, or dumped as waste. This model has had a number of negative environmental consequences, including massive waste generation. In 2022, the United States generated 146 million tons of municipal solid waste, with half of this being sent to landfills. In the EU, 3 billion tons of waste are generated annually. Environmental damage. Landfill pollutes groundwater and releases methane, while incineration produces toxic gases and ash that contaminate the environment. Resource depletion. The continuous extraction of finite resources like minerals, waters, and fossil fuels is unsustainable, especially in a world of growing population and urbanization. As global waste and resource depletion continue to rise, the need for a more sustainable and circular approach has been more urgent. It has become more urgent. Shifts to circular economy. The circular economy is an alternative to the traditional linear model. Rather than disposal, the circular economy focuses on keeping products, material, and components at their highest value and utility for as long as possible. In a circular economy, products are designed for longevity, repairability, and reuse. Waste is minimized, and products at the end of their life cycle are either recycled, refurbished, or remanufactured. Resources are continually cycled through the economy rather than being extracted and discarded. This shift is driven by the several factors. Regulations. Governments around the world are introducing strict laws to manage waste and promote resource efficiency. Corporate social responsibility, CSR. Companies are increasingly recognizing the need to align their operations with sustainable goals and reduce environmental impact. Commercial opportunities. There are business operations in recovering materials and products for reuse, as well as in creating new revenue streams from recycled materials or remanufactured products. Reverse logistics and recycling are crucial enablers of the circular economy. By recovering products, materials, and components at the end of the life, companies can close the loop and create a more sustainable and resource-efficient supply chain. So, what do you think reverse logistics involve? How do you think it differs from forward logistics? Forward logistics is the traditional flow of products from manufacturers to consumers, and reverse logistics refers to the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow of raw materials. In process inventory, finished goods are release information from the point of consumption to the point of origin for the purpose of recapturing value and proper disposal. In other words, it is the process of moving products backward through the supply chain, either for recycling, repair, or remanufacturing. Reverse logistics is essentially the opposite of forward logistics, which is the traditional process of moving products from manufacturers to consumers. In forward logistics, goods flow in one direction from production to sale. But in reverse logistics, products move in an opposite direction, either back to the manufacturer for product recovery or to a recycling facility for disposal or reuse. Core activities of reverse logistics. The key activities involved in reverse logistics include product returns, the process of handling returned products from customers, often for reasons like defects, end of life, or discomfort. Source reduction, minimizing the amount of virgin materials used in the manufacturing process by sourcing materials from recycled or renewable sources. Material reuse, recovering materials from discarded products for reuse it in manufacturing process. Recycling, breaking down products into their component material to be processed and reused in new products. Repair, fixing or restoring a product to a working condition rather than discarding it. Remanufacturing, completely disassembling a product, replacing worn out parts and reassembling it to bring back to the condition that is good as new. Reverse logistics and recycling. How do you think reverse logistics fits into the broader waste management hierarchy? What role does it play in reducing environmental impact? Reverse logistics play a crucial role in the waste management hierarchy, which prioritize the most environmental friendly options for managing waste. The hierarchy consists of 5 stages. Reduce. The most sustainable option is to reduce the use of virgin materials and energy, which minimizes the waste generated in the first place. Number 2, reuse, remanufacture. The second best option is to reuse products or remanufacture them, which extends their life cycle. Recycle. When reusing or remanufacturing is not possible, recycling materials from discarded products help reduce the need for new raw materials and saves energy. Recovery. Incineration or waste to energy processes can be used to recover energy from waste products, but this is the least desirable option in the waste hierarchy. Finally, disposal. Landfill should be the last resort as it has significant environmental impacts such as methane emission and groundwater contamination. Reverse logistics helps to enable the top 3 tiers of the hierarchy: reduce, reuse, and recycle. By recovering products and material that would otherwise be discarded and finding ways to reintroduce them into the supply chain. Product recovery options. What do you think are the most economically and ecologically beneficial product recovery options in reverse logistics? There are several product recovery options within reverse logistics, each with its own economic and ecological value. These include repair. It's aimed to restore a product to working condition through minimal disassembly and part replacement. Process. Minimal disassembly, replace or fix parts that are damaged or worn. For example, repairing computers, mobile phones, or washing machines. Its quality is lower than new but still functionable and usable. Refurbishing. The aim of refurbishing is to upgrade a product to a specified quality standard through more extensive disassembly and part replacement. Its process is to deassemble the product into its modules, inspect, fix, or replace parts. For example, caravans or houses being refurbished to bring them up to the modern standards. Quality. Below new products but still offering significant value at a reduced price. Remanufacturing. Its aim is to return the product to as good as new condition. And process. Complete disassembly, replace worn out parts, repair and test usable parts and reassemble the products. For example, Xerox designs product for disassembly and reuses recovered parts. Products like copiers, car parts, or machine tools can be remanufactured. Quality as good as new, meeting original product standards. Cannibalization. It's aimed to recover specific reusable parts from discarded products. Process. Selective disassembly to extract high value components, for example, motors or circuit boards. For example, mobile phones or computers are cannibalized to recover usable parts. Recycling. It's aimed to recover materials rather than parts. Process. Break down products into basic materials like plastic, metals, or glass and reprocess them into new items. For example, milk bottles or soft drink bottles are recycled and reused to make new packaging. Each of these recovery options offers different economic and ecological benefits. Repair and remanufacturing typically offer the highest value recovery, while recycling helps reduce the need for new raw materials. The choice of recovery method depends on the technical feasibility, market demand, and economic cost benefit analysis. So, to wrap up the lecture, reverse logistics is a crucial enabler of the circular economy, helping to close the loop in supply chains by recovering products, materials, and components. Reverse logistics help reduce waste, preserve resources, and capture value from discarded products through various recovery options like repair, refurbishing, remanufacturing, cannibalization, and recycling. By implementing reverse logistics, companies can significantly contribute to a more sustainable and resource efficient supply chain. In our next lecture, we will explore the logistical strategies involved in reverse logistics and recycling, including how design effective recovery systems, manage product returns, and overcome challenges in product recovery. Thank you so much.